Hi, everyone, and welcome to Season 4, Episode 4 of High Scores, High Stakes, the podcast that's called High Scores, High Stakes, despite the fact there hasn't been a single high score yet. I'm your host, as always, Mr. Lovelova, and with me are my co hosts.
Sure are. How you doing? Love it. Cardinal here. Good to see you.
Even. This is a really interesting observation that Love was making today.
Good evening,
Uh,
even.
evening.
There was a lot of evenings.
That was. Hi, Tomahawk. How we doing?
Good to see you.
It's great to be here. What a time for recording, so it is. Tom's gone and seeing with evenings. Sounds like Unai Emery a wee bit there.
It's the spooky
Good
season.
evening.
He's possessed.
There's
But
something
yes,
in the air. There really is.
yes, that quip is a humorous quip about our gameplay standards at High Scores, High Stakes, and it's also a little bit of a hint of what the game is, even though people know what the game is because it's in the title of this podcast episode. But yes, enough of this. Let's talk about what High Scores High Stakes is, because every episode is somebody's first episode. High Scores High Stakes is three friends competing against each other in PlayStation gaming challenges. Every week we pick a game. Every week we compete in a challenge in that game for points in our league table. Winner of the challenge gets 3 points. Second place gets 2 points. Third place gets 1 point. And at the end of the season, we crown our High Scores High Stakes champion and give them the High Scores High Stakes Cup. That's what we
Which
are.
Cardinal usually models for us here, but
It-
no, he
it's
is. He
it's
has got no.
always
I
at
wouldn't let
Has
you
hand.
got
down.
it.
I wouldn't let you down. Season 3.
He's
Always
always
at
got it
hand.
to hand.
Season 1's still in my other house. So sorry. I had one house
Oh,
per
that's it.
trophy. You know me.
The podcast winnings has got him 2 houses here.
Works out well, lads. You should try winning sometime.
Don't want to talk about it.
He's trying to win his
He's
way through
trying.
cheating. Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
trying.
You say cheating, just because you don't like the outcome,
Cheating.
and that's all the point I had.
Hate the game, not the cheater.
Everyone else.
I mean, we're not going to get into the level of depravity your gameplay has gotten to in season 4. It's an absolute disgrace, and it is win by any means
Well,
necessary. That's what I'm seeing from Tomahawk.
let's hold that. Wait, we're getting too
We've covered
excited
it.
too early. Let's wait
We
till
have
the gameplay. I think we have something to catch up with first.
we have covered it all in previous episodes. Let's talk about the state of play in season 4 so far. Let's see how the league table is right now. It looks a little bit like this. In third place in the league with 12 points is me. In second place in the league with 16 points is Cardinal. On top of the league on 17 points is Big Cheating Tomahawk.
John Sherry, what a comeback!
He's not even
Is that
here.
George Sherry's music? Oh my god.
But yes, that's what we're looking like so far in season 4. Before we get into what we've been playing this week, let's just give everyone a wee idea of how they can help us out, how they can support High Scores, High Stakes. The good news is it's all totally free. The best way and easiest way of supporting us is by giving us a review on wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. Give us 1 to 5 stars based on what you think we deserve. If you want to go one further than that, a written review. The algorithms love them. Why not do one? If you haven't already shared the podcast with family members or friends who would enjoy it, now's your opportunity to do it. Hit the share button, open WhatsApp, send them the link, let them listen. It would be great. If you want more High Scores, High Stakes content throughout your week, because 1 hour or 1 and a bit hours isn't enough, the easiest place to find us all over the internet is go to highscoreshighstakes.com. On the homepage, you'll find links for everywhere we are on the internet, including Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube, the whole heap. It's all there. It's all there. Click on it, follow us, enjoy the content. That's all we're saying. So with all that being done, it's getting quicker, it's getting more succinct every single week. Remember, it used to take like 6 minutes. Now look at us, we're flying.
That's it. Absolutely professional. I will say something about the using the WhatsApp to share the podcast. I've only ever done that on one occasion, and it was when my friend had their baby, and I was like, "Oh, you're going to do night feeds." Funny enough, have a podcast for you, and then sent them the link, and they went, "This is your podcast. Why would I listen to your own voices of feeding my child?" I was like, "Just do it. It's good for exposure." And it
Good,
is.
good point. Well made.
Besides the point entirely, just listen.
That's it.
It's great stuff. And speaking of great stuff, I know Cardinal has been playing some great stuff. So Cardinal, tell me, what are you playing?
Guys, can you guess?
New
You've
words.
been playing
No,
Alien Isolation.
no, absolutely not. Never gonna happen. I've been playing. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. You don't have to do a real drum roll. Deal and Dawson stationery supplies. It is. Let me tell you, you haven't heard of it. I didn't, but now I have, and I've played it, and it's very good. It's like Among Us, except you're a little office worker, and somebody is the manager, and the manager needs to sack the slacker in the office, and
I have heard about this.
one person is the slacker, but you have to work out who it is, and you go around the office like fixing printers or like slapping people, or in fact putting floppy disks with infected viruses and PCs. It's great.
Wow.
It's good
Sounds
fun.
what?
Wow.
You know, if I knew people who played games, I'd suggest that they play it with me. But you know,
I really thought you were going to say Phasmophobia, but there we are. Like I kind of didn't expect this, but also it's Cardinal Smith, so I should have expected it.
it's good fun. It's good fun. It's a flash in the pan thing, I'm sure, but it's good fun.
What was it called?
Deal and Dawson stationery supplies.
Yeah, I have heard of this game. It's meant to be quite fun. Actually, it's just a little bit different from Among Us. It's actually, like, I suppose it's more quote unquote common setting, being in an office.
Okay. Take it this is a Steam thing, yeah?
It I don't know. I played it on Steam.
Okay. Yeah. It just sounds like a Steam thing, 100%. It just sounds like a Steam game. It sounds quite fun. Have you been playing anything else? Or just stationary supplies?
No, I've also been
Random.
playing a Planet Crafter. It's a very chilled out, massively co-op player or single player game where you crash land on an uninhabitable planet,
Mhm.
and you have to slowly develop the atmosphere around you to create life and stuff,
Terraform it?
terraform it. Yeah,
Class.
just for yourself. It's just very slow, calming. I've had a stressful week at work, and it's quite chill. There you go.
Okay. 2 games I've never heard of at all.
You feel enlightened though. You've
I
learned
mean,
something.
I have
There's a
learned
new game
so
on
much.
your scope.
You're welcome.
I
It's
might
not
check
New
out
World.
this
The gift that keeps
office
on giving,
supplies.
Cardinal.
Okay, Tomahawk, you're up. What are you playing?
So, don't shout at me,
No
but I
promises.
haven't been playing a PlayStation game.
Disgraceful.
Well, I have. It's a PlayStation game, but I haven't been playing it on the PlayStation system. I have been trying to get use of my Ultimate Game Pass since it's cost me nothing. I may as well use it. I have been playing Black Ops 6
Why am I not surprised?
because it's free and cost me nothing.
That's Tomahawk, king of the annual release schedule.
If it didn't cost me anything, I haven't lost out. What I will say is it's playing on the generation before for the Xbox, so the it's just not quite optimized for that console.
You're playing it on the
It needs
Xbox
whatever
One?
one came. No, the one after that.
360.
Yes, that's the one.
Series S?
Yeah, it's playing fine. It still looks really good, but I feel as if you need to have it on the most up to date one to really get the benefit from the next gen sort of graphics and stuff for it.
Okay.
It's cool. It's really fast paced. It feels as if they've took it a step back with the weird and wonderful like that Call of Duty had become. Really, it seems quite stripped back to how I remember the original Black Ops being.
Okay.
And yeah, it's quite cool. And I want to dabble into the campaign because I believe the campaign is one that is it's not as linear in terms of your objectives. You can do it and tackle it in multiple different ways, and it'll affect the story as the game progresses. So, I figured it was free, cost me nothing. Just if I try it for a couple of weeks and then fall away from it, then
Mhm.
why
Yeah.
not?
The campaign is always online, and I have noticed on the internet. Some people are having disconnection issues.
Oh, really?
So just be aware of
Okay.
that. Yeah. Try to play it when it's
It's been given
non-peak.
nines, eights, and nines across the board, like for multiplayer and the campaign. So, yeah, why not? Just give it a go for a bit.
Yeah. Call of Duty, not a series I honestly care about in the
No,
slightest. I
no,
think,
I haven't played one in like 10 years,
yeah,
so
Another
it's been a bit of a
lie.
shock.
Season 1
Can we not?
challenge,
Can we not talk
episode
about how many
4,
lies I may or may not have told?
Call of Duty. Sherry trounced us.
they just keep on rolling. Like, really, to be fair, I
It's
think
just
other than Modern Warfare Remastered in Season 1 that we all played, despite what Tomahawk may say, I think the last one I actually played the campaign for was it Infinite Warfare? The first one on
The
PlayStation 4.
one with was that not the one
Kevin
with Kit
Spacey?
Harington?
Kevin Spacey was the bad guy.
oh,
I mean, in the
That wasn't
game
bad.
and also real
Yeah.
life. Mm. Yeah.
hey, if he
Call
sues
of
us,
Duty.
it's publicity, right?
Yeah, for legal reasons, that was a joke. But yes. Anything else other than COD?
Dipped into Liza P,
Okay.
and
Oh,
it looks like a little fantastical piece of kit. Really, I only kind of got to the sort of tutorial boss. It kind of reminds me of like Bioshock Infinite meets Bloodborne meets
Right.
Pinocchio. It's really cool looking, and the control scheme's a mess. Like, but I can forgive it.
I mean, okay. How is it a mess? Talk to me. What do you
All
mean?
the button system is like not how I'm when it comes to a Souls like it's not the configuration that I'm used to. So I
Okay.
maybe just need to go into the settings and tinker about with it, but it looks great. Yeah, it's a Soulsborne with Pinocchio vibes in it to it. There isn't much I've literally booted up for about 10 minutes, played the tutorial boss and went, I could talk about that on the podcast now.
boom.
Fair enough. And here we are. You have done it. And you call it
Box ticked.
a fantastic piece of kit. What a great way to describe a
Yeah.
game.
It's like, it's like
Well,
a
it's
solid
been a
tape
long
player.
day. It's been a long day.
It has been. It has been. So let's push this on then. I have been playing a couple of things. Obviously, been playing the challenge game, but we'll get that when we get to that. But also, I did stream Monster Hunter Wilds. And may I just say,
Did
it is an incredible experience. It is unbelievably good. It is unreal. It is a huge leap forward from Rise. Huge. There
Mhm.
was some things I missed whilst playing it, but it is just a spectacle. The opening to that game is just ridiculously good. Where you're just riding on the back of a wreckage, just getting chased by the monsters in the sand. It's just wow,
Yeah,
wow.
it looked really, really good. To be fair, I was watching this the stream as you went through it. There was that
Same.
era of disappointment when you went, "Oh, is that it? Is that the whole thing
Yes,
done?" And then they had like you have a
yes.
couple of side hunts to do, which it looked really, really good. It looked really intense. The actual like battle mechanics.
The battling is way more intense than what it is in Monster Hunter Rise. Yeah, there's just so much more going on. The ecosystems, even in the demo, you can see how the ecosystem works. I was hunting a side monster, the big lion looking thing. Can't remember the name of it right now, but it will come to me at some point. And the like lightning storm hit, the whole area went on fire, and then this lightning bird thing, dragon thing came down, started fighting my quarry. And then I threw a dung bomb at it and it decided, I'm going to fight you now, lover. And it was just crazy good. It is just incredible. Incredible. That is a day one purchase for me,
Yeah.
100%.
And do you
100%.
reckon it'll be something that'll like test the PS5's like capability then, or are we thinking it's gonna kind of run?
Well, the demo, that beta runs buttery smooth. There was no issues at all.
Oh,
And there's a lot going on, and a lot of the time there's a
beautiful.
lot going on. Yeah, it looks incredible. No, I don't think it'll stress the PlayStation 5. If it does, it won't stress the PlayStation 5 Pro. Um, but no, it's Capcom. It'll be optimized to all heck before they release it. They don't
Yeah.
typically release games that need optimization after release it anyway. But no, it's incredible. What an experience. But yeah, when that message popped up, this is the you can continue the story in the full release. And I was like, seriously? This was like 35, 40 minutes and it's over. And then no, it just kicks you back in and you can just go do like a little side hunt, as you say. But it's an unbelievably good game. Unbelievable. I will be buying that day one. Day one.
It's really
Brilliant.
funny though because you were set
And
up
you
for
will
stream.
not be
You
receiving
were
it
gonna
day one.
do. That's it. You'll get it about 3 weeks after the fact, and it'll be lost in the post.
Yes. Yes.
But it was funny though because it was complete accident. You were gonna go play it because I think you had said you were gonna stream Phasmophobia
Yeah.
with Sherry,
Yeah.
and then that didn't happen, and then you were gonna stream Silent Hill,
Hmm.
and then you just were like, "Hold on, what do you mean Monster Hunter is available?"
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was
What
a
an experience.
happy little accident. Yeah,
What an experience it was. Unbelievably good. I can't wait for it. Honestly, can't
there's been
wait
a
for
mixed bag, and we've played a mixed bag this week.
it. Yeah. This is the joys of our diverse interests.
We do have a game in common, though.
We do have a game in
Mhm.
common. It is this week's challenge game, which is, of course, Vampire Survivors. So let's get to the challenge game now. Bum, 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 bum. So here we are. This week's challenge game, Vampire Survivors. The challenge this week in this game is probably the simplest one we've done since Picks the Cat, Cardinal's favorite challenge of all time. um, what we
Shudders at the fact.
what we have to do in Vampire Survivors this week is one run of the first level Mad Forest, um, with base characters. So any permanent upgrades we have purchased must be refunded. We are going in with base characters. We can pick any character we have unlocked and enjoy the benefits that come with those characters. And all we have to do is survive for as long as as long as we can, and kill as many enemies as we can. Our score metrics are really simple. The person who kills the most things will get 3 points, second most 2 points, and the least 1 point. Time's got nothing to do with this. It's all to do with DPS output at all times. Cardinal,
My.
talk me through it. What was your tactic for this going in? Because you have of all three of us, the least experience with this game. I don't think you'd ever played this before this challenge. Am I right in saying that?
I hadn't done. I had it downloaded on the
Mm-hmm.
PlayStation, and I never got a chance to play it. And then life found a way to make sure I didn't get to play it until submission night.
How
But I
dare
didn't
that
do a one
life.
and done. I sat down for an hour and a half. Maybe
After the deadline, but
I mean, yeah, the deadline
I,
had passed.
I finished my first go at midnight. I had it boom done. I'd done an effort at midnight, and then I proceeded to do some more. Um, but but yes, and it was fun. What I did find though, as unlocking new characters, different weapons and things, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
I could play this more and have more stuff to play with.
yeah,
Which would have been nice, but time was against me in this one. But it was
Yeah.
fun. I will say I have played it a lot since. I've since bought it on Steam for £2, and I've got it on my phone.
I know
So,
the fact that it's on the phone and it's free on the phone.
yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much where I started playing it, at least anyway. And then I was after actually, funny enough, Lova's side quest episode of Vampire Survivors that I was like, oh, I forgot this was a thing, and then bought it on PlayStation, and it's just a pick up and go kind of game. You can put in 1 run, 20 runs. It's great.
It is.
It's so basic, but it's so simple.
That's what
It
makes it
in
so
its
good.
execution. That's what's so good about it.
That's what makes it so good. It is. It's one of those games. I obviously covered it in a side quest. I've reviewed it in a side quest. I love it. I think it's brilliant. It's just so simple, and it doesn't look like a game that should be half as addictive as what it is. But obviously, the roguelike elements and all the randomized weapons that you get and all the decisions you have to make makes it. Every run is completely different in it, and it's
Yeah.
brilliant. It is just so quick, so snappy, really satisfying when you get upgrades right, and you start annihilating everything in sight. But yeah, what a game it is! What a game it is! Um, what were your tactics though for this? Because I had a very specific thing I wanted to achieve with my run.
I think my plan was to just I sort of went with the time the idea of like lasting to the under the 30 minutes is the time cap for this first level at least
Yep.
anyway. I thought if I could get anywhere in like the 20-minute bracket, that would equate to a decent amount of kills and just put
Hmm.
me in a good chance. I thought put you in the higher time bracket and hope that you've outscored my fellow colleagues
Okay.
here.
Yeah.
I also Twitch streamed this,
You did.
and that seemed to take a little bit of pressure off. I noticed whenever I was playing it offline, there's this like getting in your own head mentality, whereas while I was streaming, I was just chatting away and having the crack and a few panicky, hairy moments, really. But
Mhm.
I think it was just a bit freer, a bit looser, bit of gameplay, and then obviously as you're getting through your runs and you're learning that if you upgrade path X, Y, and Z, you can complement your power ups together, and then they can evolve and do more damage and do
Yep.
more benefit to the player.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you, Lava?
My tactic was very, very simple. DPS, DPS, DPS. Just get every weapon that I possibly could, upgrade it as fast as I could, and just get output really, really, really high. That was my tactic. Because
Fair.
the game's on a countdown timer. The enemy strength gets stronger no matter what your DPS is. You might as well stay ahead of the curve. Was my tactic the whole time. The only difficulty I had was what character to use. What character to use? I ended up going with Gennaro.
Yeah, it was Gennaro as well.
He's tough to start with. The lower levels with him are tough because his opening weapon is the knife, and the knife fires in the direction you're facing. His movement speed is really slow.
And the cooldown for that is really, really long at the start as well.
Yeah,
Well,
but he
relatively long.
fires. His perk is he projectile weapons are doubled with him. So once you get him to about level 5 or level 6, he can start outputting really
A lot
high
quicker. Yeah,
DPS.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, that was my tactic. So it was. But enough talk of tactics because I don't think Cardinal had a plan because he didn't have any idea what Vampire Survivors was.
It was just survive. I thought that was the
Yeah.
name of the game. Try and round these things up. And anyway, let's have a look at it.
Let's get into it. Let's see our
Yeah.
gameplays and we'll talk about it as we watch. Let's go. And here we are, gentlemen. We're at the gameplay of this week's challenge. Now, we'll flash back to how I introduced this challenge. Vampire Survivors, Mad Forest, base characters, no permanent upgrades. Now, the one thing I did say when we were QA in this challenge was I think we have to show the permanent upgrade window so we can all see that your character has no permanent upgrades. Now, right now, looking at this screen, I can see my gameplay starts on the permanent upgrade window, and you can see I have no power ups, none, not one. Tomahawk is on the map selection, and Cardinal is on the title screen. I can only presume if we hit play, Cardinal is going to go into the power up selection screen and show us that he has no power ups. In fact, he's never played this game before. He couldn't possibly have any.
Let's have a quick look,
Let's
Lava.
look. Let's look. Yep, there
I
we go.
see refund power ups, refound power ups,
And I see Tomahawk straight into the map.
straight
Not a
into the map.
sight. Not a sight of the permanent power ups window. So Tomahawk, here we are, season 4, episode 4. You don't seem to have been happy with the controversy of episode 2, the controversy of episode 3. Now we have another controversy for the chart. And it's another one involving yourself. Explain yourself, Tomahawk. Where is your power ups screen? Where is it?
Oh,
What are you trying to hide? You filthy cheater.
Um, if I said I forgot,
Not good enough.
is that gonna fly? Okay, so actually, now the Cardinals done me dirty and called me out here. if I remember correctly, this is the run I submitted via Twitch, so it would have been on the VOD.
Oh,
B, the way Cardinals has edited all the footage together, uh, would have shown my character selection of having base statistics, which would also imply that there is no power ups available because it does show if you go to character selection all of the power ups that you purchase and it applies them to the character at the selection menu. That has not been shown.
Like, I
and yeah,
took your raw footage and pasted it in here. Like, no
I
editing was
don't want
done.
another
Or
VAR
some.
check. We're not doing any of this.
I mean, that's exactly what a cheater would say. He wants to cover up his absolute heinous behavior. Another week, another tomahawk controversy. The pattern has been set.
Right
We
from the
don't plan
start.
these. And I mean, it's crazy. It is. I know you've never won a cup. I know you really want to win a cup. This isn't the way to do it, Tomahawk. You must play honest. You must play fair, and then that cup will really mean something. Right now, your cup is meaningless. If you should you win it, it would be meaningless. I wouldn't recognize it. Cardinal wouldn't recognize it. The listening public wouldn't recognize it. In fact, we are risking riots in our nation's capital over you should you win the cup. That's are you is that what you want to happen?
It's more asterisks than cup at this stage.
Justice for Cardinal and Blubber is what the movement will be called.
Well,
I
I
can see
mean,
it now.
there's the first couple of seconds of this run would imply that there's not an awful lot going on for my character's build to suggest that I've even
See,
attempted to try to cheat.
implications are not evidence, my friend.
Uh,
We
and
can all make implications. I can make my inference from you not showing your power up screen. I mean, we could all do it. They're not fact. But anyway, enough about this. Let's see how we get on here. This could all be academic by the end. I don't know how it's going to play out with Tomahawk and his fully upgraded character, me with my base character, and Cardinal with his base character. Who knows? Let's find out. Shall we see how we get on here, folks?
let's skip ahead 5 minutes. And what we're
Beautiful.
seeing here is we've all chosen the same character.
Love it. Love
yeah,
it.
he absolutely is the ideal character. Like I was playing the first one. I can't remember what you call him with the whip.
Mm-hmm.
Antonio,
Oh, I hated the whip.
who is basically just um, Rector Belmont or Trevor Belmont.
Yep.
He unless you're building his whip and like doing two projectiles and then building all the mage abilities on top of that, he is pretty average across the board. Whereas, as you say, Gennaro's build can be built on pretty quickly and quite rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was the ideal character for me, to be honest.
Yes. What I like about this game is everyone just starts off base. You know, they all have their own wee perks and their own sort of character traits and stuff, but you can just make the character into what you want it to be. I happen to think that the whip is actually really good. When it starts upgrading, it's actually a really useful weapon. It has a really good knockback. It does good damage, and it's just a really nice wee safety blanket because it does hit in every direction as well. But yeah, the Gennaro's just he's a solid character. He's not the best character in the game, not by a long shot, but you can turn him into like a bit of a DPS machine. He's got a high
Yeah.
health pool, and he can output something fierce. But right now we're all looking pretty similar. So we're all still fighting our way through the first Triffid ring, that just encloses you in a small area and just pad drives you with enemies. It's just such a good game. So it is. But did anyone have any
Yeah,
difficulties
like
getting to this point of the game? So we're 10 minutes into everyone's run, really. Anyone have any difficulties getting to this point?
no, the first 5-10 minutes is all about like you're getting the initial build of your character, and then you're banking all of your skill sets,
Mhm.
and
If you have a good run and you get luck with the picks that
Yeah.
you get given, I, I'm doing so much avoiding of things, and I'm looking at your guys' screen, and you are taking like hordes on, face on,
Yeah.
and getting a lot
Yeah.
more experience for it.
Yeah, because there's one thing I will notice as I'm watching the gameplay is that me and Cardinal have both gone for garlic
Yeah,
barrier,
yeah.
which definitely is a big help. I don't know, Lover, if maybe is that something that you tend to do, or is that
Nope.
something
I
that just
steer
never
clear of
appeared in
garlic.
your?
I steer clear of garlic. Garlic's okay when it's fully upgraded, but it isn't permanently on. It looks like it is, but it isn't. And the radius for it starts off really, really small. I prefer the King Bible. As you can see, that's what my character is using. That's my radial. When that is upgraded, it is crazy good, and you can upgrade it and upgrade it and upgrade it. You get more Bibles. They move faster. They do more damage. When it's
Yeah,
fully
yeah.
upgraded, it never stops. It's just a constant
Oh,
barrier
okay. It's
between you and
it's
everything.
permanent on then.
I
Okay,
think it's the
that's
best.
cool.
I think it's the best radial in the game. Personally, I steer clear of garlic. Garlic turns on and off, and so does the Bible. But the cooldown's quicker on the Bible, and it stays for longer than the garlic as well. Plus, the when the Bible's not active, you can't see it, but the garlic you can always see. So it's really
Oh, it's
hard
pulsing on the
sometimes.
screen. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
really hard for me
It's
sometimes to know when it's active and when it's not.
I very much use it whenever you get the because I see on my screen I've got the you get the cluster of ghosts or the cluster of bats that just go from one end of the screen to the
Hmm.
other. I use that as basically fodder to get more diamonds, coins. What is it that build
More
your XP up?
blue
Yeah,
gems, yeah.
the blue gems. You basically just run into them. They'll go and disintegrate as you're doing it, and they're easy gems to pick up really. And then
Yeah.
I've got the crucifix boomerangs, which is a great one to do as well.
Yeah, so my character has just fully upgraded his knife, which is there's no cooldown anymore. So I have maximum amount of daggers, which I think is about 8, and there's
Yeah.
no cooldown. So I'm now just a machine
Well,
gun knife welder. In the time it took me to say that sentence, Cardinal has fallen. So he has.
it is unfortunately game over for me. Not quite halfway through the full time. But
Close enough.
yeah, no, I didn't.
14 minutes, still good run for having played this like 4 times.
Hmm.
And it was my best run at the time by a solid 4 minutes. But I found that there was the way those waves like that come in and push everything along.
Yes,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I find it's not the waves themselves that are the danger; it's the waves of how they push the stuff,
the enemies
they'll
towards
push
you.
the
the
stronger
tougher
enemies around
enemies
you. Yeah,
into you. Yeah, yeah, and that
Hmm.
sort of caught me out. One thing I hate is those sort of vampire looking bats with the red wings. I was just not strong enough for those at the time, and there was too
hmm
many, and I got caught in a trap.
Yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately, game
My
over.
strategy for when that happens, when you have a lot of stronger enemies that you're not really strong enough to plow through, is once they surround you, is just pick one direction and just make an exit and get out of it, and then just let them chase you, and then just hit them with all your passives. Is my strategy usually in that sort of scenario. The real key to this game is the first 10 levels is pick one weapon and upgrade that only that weapon. So you have
okay,
at least one really strong attack. That's my usual strategy. Obviously, you're the slave of the RNG. Sometimes when you level up, that weapon that you're currently upgrading won't appear as an option, and that's where luck comes in. So there is a there
Hmm.
is a game mechanic called luck in this, and you can upgrade your luck. And luck does a lot of different things. It increases your possibility of an enemy dropping a chest for an extra upgrade. It increases your chances of getting like a red or a green gem from a regular enemy. And also when you level up, the one chest appears. If you have high luck, that one chest can multiply between 1 and I think 5 is the maximum you can get in one level up. Luck is crazy strong on this. Crazy
and
strong.
it's one of those ones as well that can be found in the world. Like you can pick up the
Clovers.
clovers as pickable items, or you can level it up as a perk each
Hmm.
level you ascend through. It's quite a cool feature to have, definitely.
Yeah. So as we stand, Cardinal is the first one to die. So that means Cardinal picking up 1 point. However, it's not that simple because it's not time we survive. It is, of course, the amount of enemies we kill. Do you know how many enemies you've killed, Cardinal?
I can confirm it was 2,721.
Okay, 721.
2,721.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got that written down. Don't you worry. Don't you panic.
70,720. Yeah.
So now that this has happened, I think there is no better time to go to the internet's favorite game show, the game show of high scores, high stakes, our signature segment. It is, of course, Name That Game. Let's get there now.
Hello, and welcome back to another week of Name That Game. The last time we left this off, Cardinal and Lova are tied at 3-3. Cardinal had no faith in himself this season, and he has been putting out some big games. So how are we feeling, Lova? How are you feeling about this in the last couple of weeks?
Absolutely grand. Absolutely grand. Cardinal's getting very big for his boots. But all it takes is a couple of weeks of me putting him straight back in his place, which is last place in Name That Game. The cardinal position, I call it, because he's dreadful at this game. Dreadful at it. I have no fear of a man who has only heard of 16 different games, franchises in his life, and all of them are turn-based strategy games. I have absolutely no fear.
I mean, it is big talk, but we do find ourselves at a deadlock here. So we're going to go through another couple of games today, and we'll see where we end up after. The first game that we're going to have a look at the review of was gifted to me by none other than Mr. John Sherry.
Oh,
so he's getting a little shout out and a little bit of credit for this review because I nearly ran out of time to find them. So game number 1 was given a 4-star review. Ooh, indeed. Well, we'll see what happens when we figure it out then.
Yep.
So the review is as follows. Classic with good RPG elements and satisfying class combat mechanics, but often very inconsistent with environments and shooting. Many parts of inexplicably unfixed scenery and behaviors of in-game features deciding when and how compared to what they are meant to do, on top of sometimes irritating gravity mechanics. Was fine with plenty breaks. Mission markers are often unclear and can mean many things, leading to looking up the silliest thing and returning to the game a second later after reading one sentence as to what the mission actually means. Combat can sometimes feel like you are shooting and then placing the controller down for a while until you reload, and then picking it back up again once it's done, shooting a few times and repeating. I also completed the game in about 4 hours too. Cardinal Smith, Mr. Lova, name that game.
Completed the game in 4 hours?
For 4 stars, that is scathing.
Not a very good review.
That is incredible. So there's a lot in that, to be fair. There's a lot of clues in that review. It's very specific with what it is. I am going to go. It's wrong, but I'm going to go with Battleborn.
Cardinal Smith.
I am not sure. The slow reloading, shooting, New World.
I can tell you that none of you have named that game. So we'll give you clue number 1. And now these clues are Mr. John Sherry, so they are not 100% verified, but I do trust them.
Okay.
So clue number 1 is a compilation of a classic franchise, although it does not include the first game. Name that game.
Compilation of a classic franchise, not including the first game.
Not including the first game.
Quite a compilation.
That's a heck of a compilation. Oh. Okay.
Mega Man. Mega Man something.
Mission 4 hours runtime. Pause it. Read a sentence. Pause. Reload. I've no idea. I've absolutely no idea.
RPG
Um,
ones.
classic franchise meets all those criteria. I know, none. I just thought I'd guess just because of nothing better. Um, uh,
Never heard of that one.
Bioshock collection.
We have not named that game still.
Darn.
So clue number
What did
2.
you say last time, Cardinal? Sorry.
He just said Mega Man.
All right, class.
I don't know.
So clue number 2. The developers have bragged that about 17 million guns were created for this
Oh.
game.
It is Borderlands, the Handsome Jack collection.
That'll be
Cardinal
it.
Smith.
That'll be it. It's John
That'll be it.
Sherry. He
That-
likes Borderlands.
That'll be it indeed. It is in fact the Borderlands Handsome Collection. I'll
So-
give you that, yes.
Hold on, the Handsome collection doesn't include Borderlands.
It only includes Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously? I did not know that. Wow, doesn't even include 3.
3 I don't think was released when the
have no
Handsome
idea.
Collection came out.
I always assumed the Handsome collection was 1, 2, and the spin-off
Me
one.
too,
was
yeah.
So-
pre-sequel.
So Sherry did come back to me in our private chat. Then he said he would have accepted Borderlands 2 or the pre-sequel as an answer. There, he
Okay.
would have gifted the point. So after that, Lava has put his nose in front here. We are 4-3.
I should have thought about
Five.
the clue giver rather than the clue itself.
The third clue is really, really good because he says that the developer loves a bit of magic and was recently purchased by 2K.
Class. Yeah, it's a good one. That is a good one.
Is it?
However, is the CEO of Gearbox is a
He says,
part-time
Randy
professional
Pitchford-
magician. Randy Pitchford
Randy
loves his
Pitchford
cards.
said he uses magical routines on stage to captivate the crowd before he announced any Borderlands installment. So that was quite a niche clue. If you know it, you know it. I
Yeah.
suppose.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
he's
all
a-
those listeners who, brace themselves watching Borderlands announcements.
I just thought Randy Pitchford's magic was really well known.
Who?
If you had Pitchford, Gearbox.
Anyway, let's not talk about who Randy
I've never
Pitchford
played
isn't.
Borderlands.
No, nor have I.
Let us get back to the action of Vampire Survivors. What do you think?
Yes, let's get there now.
Ooh.
Let's see who's going to take home the 2 points. So, Cardinal has fallen, which means the door is open. And this is the first episode this season where I am not going to take home third position. That is an incredible achievement. So it is. You've subdued me for 3 episodes, but only 3 episodes, gentlemen. I'm taking home more than a singular point, which is excellent news. Beautiful news. The best news. That's what Donald Trump would say about all this.
Oh, swiftly moving
So
on.
great. It's amazing news.
Let's hit play on this footage and we'll
Let's
carry
hit
on.
play, and then we'll discuss what we're doing here. I am just eradicating everything that moves in this playthrough. This run for me was pretty good, to be fair. So it was. Tomahawk is still keeping pace with me, though. It's fair to say, Tom.
Yes, I think I'd upgraded the garlic at this point, so I was just running through enemies. I had the whip, and the handy thing about Gennaro is that every weapon that you pick up or every new skill you obtain is a +1 on all items. So this is the part I got stuck on a little bit, is like, what do I upgrade next? Do I upgrade weapons or do I upgrade defenses? And I thought, frig it, just get the daggers to pass through one more enemy, and then keep doing you can augment the size of the weapons by like 10% as you go, so they get bigger and bigger and bigger and have a bigger hitbox essentially.
Mm-hmm.
I was having a great time. I actually, because I was in the middle of Twitch, I was just chatting to everybody and just having the crack, and there is possibly a wee hairy moment where you have to do a little bit of wiggling around to find a safe route out of the fray.
They always come every single round. There's
Yeah.
always one where you're cornered. You're like, how do the
did
drip
you-
boys get
firstly,
out of
how
this
did
one?
you get there? It's that
It,
freeze frame moment. It's like you're probably wondering how I got in this
yeah,
situation.
see, the game itself is designed to limit how far you can move, to be fair. So it is at this point of the game, what I am doing is upgrading the rune tracer. Now, for my money, I don't know how there's people out there who play a lot more Vampire Survivors than me. For my money, the rune tracer is the single best weapon in the game. It is a ridiculous weapon. It is a little marble that just bounces around. The more you upgrade it, the longer it stays on screen for, and the more enemies it will bounce off, and it will just literally annihilate entire screens when it's fully upgraded. It is frighteningly good. Every single run I have done with the Rune Tracer is my most effective weapon. It is
Okay. It's not one I
unbelievable.
use. It's not one I use all the time. To be if if it's the only one available in like the options you get, I'll just pick it if there's nothing else I
It's
fancy.
it's unreal. It's unreal. I've finished runs, finished levels in this game where like the Rune Tracer's done millions of points of damage, and the next highest weapon is like 700,000. It
Oh
is
wow, okay.
ridiculously good weapon. In this one, my daggers, my machine gun daggers, my fully upgraded daggers with no cooldown are just, it's insane. It's just insane.
That's it. I'm just watching them. They're flying through the screen, and it's just as you're whatever direction you're facing, they're just non-stop.
Yeah, there's no cooldown on them. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. The upgrade path in this game is just so good at making you feel really, really, really powerful.
Now, it did take me until like after submission and after like playing through with an upgraded character to see, the evolution of certain traits
Hmm.
depending on what you pick up and how the items combine together. So the game's super clever and it makes you nearly have to try and remember, but also you're a slave to the RNG.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. There's so many elements of RNG in this game. It can give what it gives with one hand, it often takes with the other, and
Exactly.
you never get the perfect combination of things that you want. And you sometimes there's the odd choice where you just have to pick what you think is the best option at that time for your character. It is frightening how you can go from this is a great run to oh no, this is bad.
There
And
is. No, I know exactly what you mean because there was a run I think I had a couple of days after the deadline, and I thought, let's just see what happens. And I started upgrading everything. I had nearly everything. I had about 9 upgrade slots done and nearly completed.
mhm.
And the game nearly knew that I wasn't going for a 10th slot.
Yep.
And it forced me into making a level 1 position for that 10th
Yeah.
upgrade slot.
Yeah. It will do that. I don't know what this strategy is for it. But yeah, I find having each slot filled with something that you at least have a passing interest in. Otherwise, the game will just at
Yeah,
some point make you pick something, and by that stage, the run is so deep you're never getting it past like level 3, and then it's a wasted
exactly.
slot. So it is. But
But I
in
have fallen.
you have fallen, Tomahawk.
Gentlemen.
You
Yeah.
have fallen. What was your kill count, Tomahawk?
My final kill count
Hmm.
was 700,000. No, it was 9,009.
9,009.
9,009.
What a
Wow.
number! Palindrome.
It was
Palindrome.
beautiful.
There are no bonus points for ending on a palindromic number, though, unfortunately for you. But what isn't unfortunate for you is you get to see me take another point away from Cardinal and name that game. I think we should get to it right now.
Oh, come on.
And we're back with Name That Game. Game number 2. Cardinal, you have work to do to bring this back to parody. Are you ready?
I always have work to do. Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's get straight into this one. So, our Amazon Game Reviewer gave this a 5-star review. So, bear that in mind when it comes to the rest of the review.
Loved it.
So, ignore the reviews from people that I have only played the tutorial. This is a great game. The story is really interesting and sure to please any fan of the franchise. The cutscenes and characters acting are phenomenal and hilarious. Gameplay takes a couple of hours to get into due to the unique playstyles of each character and a gradual introduction to all the combat and game mechanics. The graphics are also great. Characters are detailed with many costume variations to unlock during gameplay, and the setting looks fantastic with all the details and landmarks you'd hope for. Name that game.
Well, how many
There's not a
stars did
lot.
it get?
That got 5 stars.
5 stars.
Now I will say that was not a lot. That is not a lot to go on in terms of gameplay, game mechanics. That's the
No,
thing. But
not
I
at
think it's
all.
enough. I think there's
No.
enough in that review.
Though I will pick up
Potentially.
on terms franchise and different characters' fighting styles,
Yeah.
and then customizable outfits.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I don't think
That
it's
first sentence in that review will be key as well. So I'll give you that one again. Just
Yep.
so ignore the review from people that have only played the tutorial. This is a great game.
so people played a tutorial and criticized this.
Didn't like it.
Yeah.
Interesting story. It's a franchise.
So it's not Final Fantasy 16 because everyone loved the demo.
Different characters.
No, it's not Final Fantasy 16.
Bad tutorial. I mean, so many games have bad tutorials. I don't know. My initial thought
I feel like I should know it.
is incorrect because I mean it matches all except the franchise thing. I am going to say Monster Hunter Rise.
Cardinal Smith, do you have a game to name?
I could do with another clue, so I'll go Final Fantasy 15.
Neither of you then have named that game. So I'll give you clue number 1. This is. Oh, do I give you clue number 1 first, or do I give you clue number 2 first?
I mean,
Clue number 2.
We don't know the difference. We don't know what the clues are.
It's up to the host.
I'm gonna get okay. Mr. John Sherry paid full price for this game.
I mean,
name that game.
That doesn't help at all because he pays full price for every game, never plays it. What sort of clue is this?
That's a great clue. That's an absolutely great clue.
So he
I thought
paid
very hard about that
full
clue.
price for this game and never played it. Was that the clue?
No, he played no. He paid full price for this game.
I mean,
And in our group chats, he gave a lot of, "I'm paying full price. I can't wait to pay full price for this game."
Oh, there's been a few.
there's been so many. He buys a game every single day. Like
I
he
know,
bought
I know.
Disney Speedstorm for goodness sake. He bought that game. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, they're not great choices he makes, but the man likes what the man likes.
He paid full price for this game. Hilarious.
I'm gonna
I
have
will
to
give
go-
you. I will give you a further to that clue. He
I
then
w-
tried to say to me to buy the game when it went on sale.
What? What are these clues? These clues are awful.
I'm gonna have to go Disney Speedstorm because I can't remember all the other reference games. I remember he bought Hogwarts Legacy before any of us.
He did.
But-
He's bought a lot of games in his time. Trust me on that one.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I know.
Right, Lova, let's hear a guess before I give you the next clue.
Honestly, I have no idea. Honestly, I have no
'Cause
clue.
I think Cardinal knows it now.
I really.
Well, maybe I have an idea.
I don't know if he bought this game, but it does kind of match the review, except for the bad tutorial. I don't know. I'm going to go with Concord.
No, neither of you have named that game. Fun fact, I was going to do Concord as a game for this season, but because you can't buy it online anymore, there's no reviews.
Yeah.
So you can't even find the listing to get a review for it. But alas, it's not Concord.
I have no idea what this is.
Clue number 2. It was released in February 2024.
Can I say, can I hazard a guess that it is Suicide
Can.
Squad Kill the Justice League?
Lover, would you like to throw out a game that Sherry would have paid full price for?
I mean, it's Justice League's not part of a franchise though, unless they're counting the Batman games as the part of the franchise. Right?
I'm thinking about the person, not the clue.
I mean, it's 100%. I mean, that is a game he bought. It is a game I do remember him trying to convince Tom. It is Suicide Squad, isn't it? Put
It
me out
is
of my misery
absolutely
here.
Suicide
Yeah.
Squad. Yeah. Cardinal Smith. It's
Four,
that moment.
four.
So, yes, I did have to change the wording of that review. It goes, it would be sure to please any DC fan.
So you
It
changed
is
it with
part.
franchise.
Franchise is a correct word for that.
It's not part of a franchise.
It absolutely is.
What's a franchise, Tom?
Google, what's a franchise?
A franchise is a collection of movies, books, or games that are in the same
Yeah, it's all
characters.
part of the.
but-
It's
but
part of the Arkham series.
It's not.
part of. It is. Technically, it's part of the.
No, technically
Arkham.
it is not. It is not Batman from the Arkham games. Flash has never been in an Arkham game. Superman's never been in an Arkham game. Wonder Woman's never been in an Arkham game.
Not the point. It's
Mr.
set in the
Boomerang
Arkham
has never
universe.
been in an Arkham game. This is not part of a franchise, Tom. It's a disgrace. And this is another controversy.
Tom, where does that leave us with the scores?
4-8.
This absolutely leaves us no better off than where we were at the start of this segment. Now it
No.
is 4-4.
Mr. John Sherry is banned from giving you any more name that games. His clues are dreadful. I hope he's listening to this.
The first game is all Mr. John Sherry. The second one is just Mr. John Sherry inspired.
The theme of today's name that game was Mr. John Sherry.
The laugh about Suicide Squad is he not only bought the game full price, he also bought the full price deluxe edition.
What a hero, man.
Which was £99.
This is the same John Sherry that told me he can't justify paying £8 a month subscription fee for Final Fantasy 14 Online, which we played together briefly.
What a
And he
hero.
won't go back to because
This
he
is
can't,
also the
can't
same Mr.
justify
John Sherry.
£8.
Yeah, this is it, but this is the same Mr. John Sherry who then said he wanted to try and get a refund, who then shouted at Sony because Sony wouldn't refund him, to which then he sent in snippets from his group chats to say, but you've refunded all my other friends.
What a hero. What a hero. Never changed.
And then had
Sherry.
the gall to message me to say that it was 20 quid and I should buy it.
Anyway, that's enough, Mr. John Sherry, Suicide Squad, refund debacle. Let's get back into top tier gameplay of Vampire Survivors. Let's see how I do. Cardinal, let's not waste any more time. Let's get into the brass taxes. Let's talk about my run. Right now, I am doing absolutely insane damage. My never ending daggers are never ending. My King Bibles are flying constantly. And my Rune Tracer is doing what the Rune Tracer does. It is annihilating enemies left, right, and even center. Not an enemy being missed. It is just a shower of gems. It is incredible.
I'm surprised you haven't just put the controller down and then just see what happens, just being stationary, because I've definitely found playing this after the fact that if you can create enough of a radial damage, no one in the middle can hit you.
I mean, it's funny you should say that. That might happen very, very soon. What I'm doing is I'm very conscious that this challenge is about kills. It's about killing as much as you can. So why wait for the enemies to come to you? The enemies move slowly in this game anyway. I'm going to them and I'm taking them out in huge, huge, huge numbers. The levels I am flying through now is crazy. It's every few seconds.
I've been watching this closely and I can see you've probably killed about 60 enemies total this entire run.
Yeah, that's
25 minutes. Yeah,
just smart upgrading. That's all you need. 60 enemies, bang, done. Kill the final boss, and it's all good. The final bosses in this game are ridiculous, by the way. But yeah, no, I'm just absolutely annihilating. Funny story. This purple plant thing, I'd never seen this before. This is the first time I've ever seen this enemy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, never seen them before. I don't know if they were added for the update for the PlayStation version, but yeah, I had never seen this big purple plant before on the Steam Deck, on the Steam version at
Uh,
all. Maybe I'm
And look at
missing.
this upgraded whip here. I've never seen that before.
Oh yes, yeah. The whip.
That's
You must have it combined with something.
that's the fully upgraded whip. That is a level 10 whip, so it is. It's just it
Oh,
covers the
okay.
screen. There's no cooldown. You'll notice that about all the fully upgraded weapons. The cooldown disappears completely, and it's just it just annihilates everyone. It also knocks them back, and it also stuns them. So you can get an enemy completely stun locked with it. Completely, they will be unable to move if you're in the right position. It is just the upgrades are just crazy.
Yeah.
So
Now
they
I
are.
will ask guys as well because it didn't appear on my run, or this submitted one at least anyway, but it has on previous and post challenge runs. Did any of you guys use the time lance
No,
at any point
no,
during the game?
but
Don't know what
it's
that
quite
is.
useful. It's
It
just
basically
chance.
fires a laser, for lack of a better word, in a single direction, but it'll freeze any of the enemies that
Hmm.
come into contact with with that laser, basically.
Yeah, it's a really
Right.
useful thing, especially when it gets really busy. It's super
Mhm.
useful, but it's not particularly good at damage. It doesn't do damage at all. In fact,
Yeah, it doesn't hold them. It doesn't hold them frozen for very long, I think, and even the power ups for it are like it lasts for 0.1 second
yeah,
longer.
yeah. So that was me hitting level 60. So the upgrade paths are now closed, and now every time I level up, it's literally, do you want chicken or do you want coins? So I always pick coins because you can buy new characters and new upgrades and all that sort of stuff. But now this is it. This is the final form of lava right now, and the game
I
is just throwing bats at me. It's just never ending stream of bats. And this is where I stop moving. I don't move for the rest of this run. I'm just standing in the middle of the screen, absolutely destroying everything that comes, even with the thought of hurting me,
This is
ain't getting
ridiculous.
near me. This is how you
that's mad. That's what I picture Vampire Survivor to be. Is just get to the point of the character where you don't actually have to play the game.
yep,
You're just letting the timer run down.
tick
And I
down.
tell you what, though, like I think when you messaged me doing my run on Twitch, you were like, "Oh, that's a brilliant run," and I figured that sparked something in you because I thought you were gonna kind of not do a one and done as such, but I think once we saw that you knew that 20 minutes or so was going to be the benchmark, you were like, well, I need to start putting in. And I figured that you knew how to get to the end game pretty handily.
Yes, yes, I do.
So
Yeah, but there you can see the damage my items were doing. So 2.2K, the Rune Tracer does 2.2 million in 27 minutes. It's just a really, really, really good weapon. I would recommend doing it. It's what 1.3 thousand damage per second. It is a crazy good weapon. But yeah, that is me. I got to the game killer and I had him stun locked and then stupidly moved, which took my daggers out of his direction and he was able to get on top of me and kill me. Um, but yeah, that was me. My run ended with the game killer, as they're called in this game. Are you ready for my final kill count?
let's hear it.
Little drum
My
roll. Pa, 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 pa,
my
pa.
final kill count was 18,922.
So it was close.
Yeah.
Says on screen 18,505, but
Was this my PB or former PB run? Because it does say 18,505 on screen. I'm happy enough to accept that. Double toms.
yeah, either way, it
I,
does
I
not
did
matter.
submit 2 runs. I did submit 2 runs because one of my runs, I show the permanent upgrade screen and didn't scroll the whole way down, and I was worried about that not being accepted. So I put the previous run in, which was 18, low 18,000s, might be 18,200 and something. But anyway, doesn't matter.
Oh, I see. Very
You see
good.
that?
Okay. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, my final kill count was according to the top right hand corner counter, 18,922. According to this, it was 18,505. I don't know what's going on, but it doesn't matter. I'm taking home my first W of this season, gentlemen. Let us discuss Vampire Killers and what this means. Who's getting what points? what it means for our league, and what's coming next. Let's get to that now. And that is it. I'm back, baby. I am back. First W of season 4. It's been a long, long, long time coming.
Nice
I
of you
would
to
say
show
that was I would say that was hard work. It wasn't. It wasn't. I
It was good
was
fun.
I
It
was
was
throwing
very good fun.
misdirections left, right, and center. Tom said after I saw him get 9,000 on the stream that it lit a fire in me. That is not true at all because little does Tom know I played Vampire Survivors whilst I was watching his stream and got a 15,000 run. And I was like, I'm going to start blowing some smoke here and misdirecting Tom to take away the need for him to do more runs. So I was like, mate, that what an amazing run. Wowzers, that's God tier. So I kept on describing my best score as world class. And then when he did his 9,000, I was like, that's God tier. What a run that is.
High scores, high misdirection. This
High
is
misdirection.
a
Love is turning off his phone, going.
I was like, I've got him now. I've given him a false sense of security with his 9,000. Now it's time for me to destroy him. Is that your highest score to date, Tom, or have you beat that since?
No, I've beat that since, but then I've beaten that since with the permanent upgrades of the character. So I think I've hit
Yeah.
something like 25,000. I think I did it 2 days ago or so with all the upgrades
Upgrades.
attached, and I think in that half that time I doubled my score, and then by the time I got to the end killer at the end, I was like 25-30k kills at that point. So they yes, we do the base characters for sort of level footing,
Mm-hmm.
but the upgrades make such a difference.
Oh yeah, they're game
Yes.
changers. Like it's
Huge, huge, huge.
what I like about it as well is when you permanently upgrade, you can just refund them again and just sort of mix it up to see sort of
Mhm.
what upgrades best suit your playstyle. The duplicator is always a great upgrade to get. By the way, the permanent upgrade, the duplicator, bang, get that, brilliant, doubles everything.
I think there was one I started, and it was an Antonio run with the whips, and I built it so he ended up having a 400% radial for the whip, so the actual animation of the whip took up the entire screen.
Incredible.
So it was killing bats that weren't even on the screen yet,
Yeah.
and obviously the duplicator was on top of that then. So it is great, and the replayability on it is so good because, as you say, you can just refund your points and you get the full value for them. It's not like a
Mm-hmm.
case of you're refunding them for lesser.
Yep.
So you can chop and change and make everything work differently to every character.
Yep. All the
It's class.
DLC as well is on offer on PSN as well.
And by the time this comes out, the Ode to Castlevania will be
Castlevania be
a
out.
couple of days old as well. So I'd be intrigued to pick that up
Yep.
and
The
play it.
Contra DLC is brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I recommend the Contra one as well. And Castlevania, yeah, I think it's like £1.79 for every
That's
piece
for a
of
game that
DLC.
costs $279 at the start.
Mm-hmm.
Well worth it. Like you get more than your money's worth for it.
It's ridiculous.
It's unreal.
I heartily enjoyed it once I started getting into it.
Yeah,
Real pick up and play, easy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
and it is just like turn your brain off and just have fun, and it is fun. Even the bad runs are really fun. It's just it's a superb game. I think in my review, I think I give it an A tier, and I wanted to give it the S, but I just couldn't give it S. But it's a great game. Our consumer advice for this week is it was Halloween. Give it a go. It's brilliant. You'll love it, and it's dirt. It should be illegal for a game to be that cheap and be that good as well.
I'm okay
Brilliant.
with that.
Brilliant. But yes, let's talk about what this means for the league. That's what we're all here to learn. That's what we're all here to do.
Exactly.
So, final results then. Cardinal, you killed the least amount of enemies, 2,721 in fact. So that means you're going home with 1 point this week. Tomahawk, you killed the second most enemies with 9,009. Not bad. But I killed the most enemies with over 18,000. So I'm going home with 3 points. And what that means for the league is this. In third place, now on 15 points, it's me. In second place, on 17 points, is Cardinal. He is within grabbing distance now. I can feel second place. And in first place, on 19 points, is Tomahawk. So it may not look like the
Confirmed.
league has changed all that much, but let me tell you, the gap between first and third at the start of this episode was 5 points. Now it is 4 points. This is what the professionals call reeling you in. Slowly, slowly, slowly.
But like, it's funny because the next challenge, it takes a love a win and me finishing third, and the landscape changes a good bit as well.
Bit of
So
foreshadowing there.
it's interesting. Like, it's cool. I know that we laughed and said when Sherry left that the league compacts a bit and the competitiveness sort of increases, and like that's 4 point gap really doesn't mean much at this stage,
Not
to
at
be
all.
honest.
Not at all. Not at all. Especially if we're going to go with this crazy scoring systems we've been doing so far. That's all I'm saying. This is episode 4, and it's the first one to have the proper high scores, high stakes scoring system. For goodness sake.
Oh yeah.
But you have to be different. I think some of the games warrant that
Mhm.
little bit of a crazy scoring, but it
Oh,
was quite
absolutely.
nice to do a one episode where there was not arguing about the scores, because I feel as if we do an awful lot of our scoring quite diplomatic, but this was quite refreshing to go 3, 2, 1, and that's it. We'll move on.
Yep, exactly, exactly. Although we never did see that permanent upgrade screen Tomahawk, so I'm saying. But it doesn't really matter because it didn't affect the outcome at all. Maybe Cardinal might have a sore spot about that upgrade screen, but I personally don't. I think it's fine. I think if you want to cheat your way to a title, then you do you. But integrity is at the forefront of everything we do here at High Scores, High Stakes. And by we, I mean me and Cardinal. But anyway, that's what it means for the league. This week's challenge game is over. Now that people are wondering, what's next week's challenge game? Do you know where you find that out? The wrap up section. Let's go. And that is it, gentlemen. Another episode all wrapped up. It is done. Put a pin on it. It's over. It's in the past.
We
Another
survived it.
Tomahawk indiscretion, though. We need to cut these out, I think. But anyway, what do we do now? What's next on the high scores, high stakes game challenge menu? Let me tell you, I would say it's a good one, but I have no idea how good this game is or how bad it is. But let
Me
me tell you
neither.
this, it is Sniper Elite 3?
5.
Sniper Elite.
5.
They've made 5 of these? Okay.
This is I mean, it must be good. This is the thing. It must be good if they've made 5 of them.
I mean, you say that, but they've made like 176 Dynasty Warriors, and there's never been a good one of them.
Oh goodness.
Irrelevant.
I mean, Sniper Elite 5 is next week's
Incredible.
challenge game. Incredible. I can't wait for it. I do like a good third person shooter. Is it third?
It is, yes.
Okay.
It
Whew.
absolutely
I
is
know
a
what I'm
third-person
talking about.
shooter.
I'm the host of a gaming podcast. I have all the knowledge. But yes, I am actually quite looking forward to this. This is one of those games that I am aware of, a game series I'm aware of, and it's like way back when in the PS3 360 days. It was one of those games I always wanted to try, but never bothered because it just was never
But
really
this
high
is
up
it.
the
This
list.
is the wonder.
So
This
here we
is the
go.
wonder of the PlayStation Plus catalog as well. It's a free game, and why the hell not?
Yeah,
Not
absolutely.
one of us are going to be masters at it, so
It's a game we
all for
wouldn't
it.
try unless we were
Exactly.
forced to. Yeah.
That's exactly it. It's a game people probably wouldn't associate with high scores, high stakes, especially not now that Sherry's gone. Where we are not lovers of shooters, any one of us. So it should be a closely fought contest, as long as we're all honest and there's no cheating. Tomahawk.
Talk about 20 hours playtime.
But yes, make sure
16 minutes.
make sure you don't miss next Monday's high scores, high stakes. It is Sniper Elite 5. And then that leaves us then just to do the housekeeping at the very end of this. It's everyone's favorite part. Everyone loves this. I get non-stop DMs on Twitter all about how they love the housekeeping at the start and the end, and how
Yeah.
it just forms a perfect podcasting sandwich. It's been described to me. I think it's wonderful to get that such feedback. Thank you very much, everyone. But yes, if you haven't rated us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to, please do give us a score, 1 star to 5. If you really want to, give us a written review because the algorithms love written reviews. If you haven't shared it with a family member or a friend who would enjoy the podcast, please consider doing that as well. You're on your phone, you might as well hit the share button, put it on whatever messenger app you want. If you want more high scores, high stakes content, we have become quite good at streaming on Twitch. We
We
also
have.
we also have been very good at putting out unique content on all of our social medias. And we also have been pumping out YouTube content as well. I know what you're thinking. Where can I find you in all these sites? Well, dear listener, highscoreshighstakes.com has all the links you need. Top of the homepage. Give them a wee click, give us a wee follow, give us a wee subscribe to you on YouTube. It would help out lots. But yes, that is it. For everything, I have nothing else to say except Tom's a big dirty cheater, so he is.
I just looked up PSN Network. Tom's recently played games: Vampire Survivors, Dead Space, and Sniper Elite 5.
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, he doesn't. Yeah, it's crazy.
He
Tomahawk, you are
doesn't
a
miss a
disgrace.
trick.
But anyway,
The
I
gameplay will do the talking. That's just,
Ooh,
we'll leave it at that.
okay.
There's nothing I can say. Nothing I can say is going to make anything better or sway anyone's mind. This is all just coincidence and accident. But hey ho.
yes. Hey ho, I've been Mr. Lava Lava. This has been High Scores, High Stakes. Thanks for listening. See you Monday. Love you all. Bye.
Out.
Bye.
Bye.